Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good greetings. This is the 2nd of January 2020. We have already had the final exam for statics for this semester 2 days ago on 31st of December 2019. Yes. So this is probably the one of the final video with regard to this semester on this subject, the updates. Currently the final exam question paper, not question paper, the answer paper are being assessed and marked, and hopefully within, I don't know, 2 weeks we will know the final results for the students. And before that, I think I'll just do the final update for based on the survey, on the feedback the student give, based on this is actually the survey that I made after the midterm, right? But in the previous video that I posted on my view and comment on this, it is not yet having collected all of the responses. Until now, not everyone responded. Right now is 48 responses from the students, but I think when I did the previous video, it was a little bit less than this. So we'll just go through as a final remark on this semester. So basically right now this semester is already over. Is the exam period still ongoing, but for particularly for statics it's already done. Alright, so I'll just put screenshot over here, inshallah. Alright, so without further ado, straight to it. So there are 48 responses here, and the first question is not much different from before, where this is the lecturer good at his job. Okay, most of them answer on the right side. Hopefully that is a good sign. And then most of them responded positively. For the flipped classroom, no one actually assessed less than 3, so that is a good sign, I think, and inshallah I think I will be continuing this approach for this subject. Okay, recorded lecture is also positively received. So in terms of midterm, so there's a mixed result here. For those who are very happy with their marks, only 4 students, or 8%, and then satisfied but thought would got higher, 30% roughly, and satisfied but I deserve it is what I deserve is 11, right? So not satisfied, shocked at my result, there's 5 students that truly believe that they should get higher, etc. Right? Alhamdulillah. So someone actually wrote Alhamdulillah, 1%, and I'm happy but I want to improve. Alright. Okay, next, after the midterm, okay, this is what interests me, in the sense that half of the student that responded says they are targeting for A, right? Not half of the class actually. This is half on of the student that actually responded to the survey, right? So 25%, okay, not 20, sorry, 25%, right? We ignore the percentage because that percentage is not representative of the whole class. It's representative only on those who respond to the survey, right? So most probably those who do well is those who are responding to the survey anyway, right? So 25% targeting for an A, and my class, in the the two sections that I teach, it's roughly 105 students or something, if I'm not mistaken. So 25 out of 100 roughly is 25%. If 25% actually can get A, that's quite high, I think. But of course this is what they are targeting, and I'm assuming those who target to get A is actually having a carry mark or midterm exam mark relatively high, that they can actually target an A. So in terms of that, they stand a good standing in terms of achieving A, or hope to get A. But of course in the final exam anything can happen. I'm still hoping a majority of these 25 still can get A, hopefully, right? That's my hope. I hope they will make me proud, hopefully. but we'll see in the final update. I think when the result come out, I'll be doing the final update for the semester, and we will see how many students actually get A for this subject for this semester, right, from my section. And sorry, and then another 11 targeting for A minus. All right, so if we can actually get like 25 plus 11, which is tough order, like 30%, then 35% to get A and A minus, that is so huge. And I would say that is hugely because of the student response to the flipped classroom approach. I don't do target, I just perform 1%. I don't care, just as long as they don't fail. I hope this 3% do not fail, right? And I'm so hoping that the amount of failure and having to repeat from my section this semester will be record low. That's my hope. I'm hoping that it is very much possible. Mathematically, it's possible, because the previous semesters, the percentage that fail and have to repeat is quite high. Consistently, I have managed to reduce it every semester, but the reduction is quite small. And with the semester where we actually implemented full-blown flipped classroom, I think based on the carry mark, the shift is significant. However, this is also in this university the first time they apply the rule, or what do you call it, the system where if you fail the final exam, you still fail the subject regardless of your carry mark. So that's the concern. If any one of them goes blank or anything in the final exam, they might still fail, even though the carry mark can give them total mark above the passing grade, but they still have to pass the final exam. So hopefully all of them pass the final exam. That's my hope, inshallah. All right, so this is where I want to focus on really, and most of this comment actually I have covered in the previous video. So if you are interested in that, find that video. Maybe at the end of the video, this video, I'll put the link there, but we will just go to those which one we haven't read yet. So okay, this one have yet. Okay, in my opinion, so we'll go to this one, right? In my opinion, it's better to add an example of the way you solve an exam question. Okay, so yeah, towards the end, I think in the final 1 or 2 chapters, that I actually include more example at the end of the video, compared to initially, because it's more on the theory, and then the solving question parts mostly are in the classroom, right? But for the final chapters, for chapter 6, chapter 8, I think I do include some examples at the end, right? So that is the improvement that I have done, and hopefully it helped in this chapter. But I'm not sure about the following semester, the going onwards, because I already have spent a lot of time recording all those videos for this semester, because this is the first time we implemented this, and I'm thinking of just using that video, right? But 2 issues here. One is most of the initial chapters, it doesn't have that examples at the end, or many examples. It's just example from the slides, original slides, which is very simple, just to understand how to apply the concept, right? But it's not to the level of the exam. That's number 1. Number 2, some of the recording actually are affected by the camera, the older camera that goes blur. I'm not sure. Let's yeah, because I already have the expectation that I can just use what I have recorded for the flipped classroom for the coming semesters, so I do not intend to spend that much time on that recording anymore. But we will see what the student needs, right? So on this case, thank you for your suggestion. Any of you, I'm not sure who gives this suggestion. I will be considering it for going forward, inshallah. To my defense, this is the first time I do any recording for flipped classroom for the lecture itself. So it's a learning curve throughout the way. Anyway, the explanation given is very enough to understand, but sometimes his lenses, okay, this is about the lens goes blur. I think I have read this comment before, right, in the previous video. But anyway, so that is with regard to the previous video cam. Unfortunately, this happened and I didn't have the money then, or I didn't have the time to react to that, and eventually I bought this camera here. I won't do the unboxing video. Check out that video. But anyway, and thank you also for the students who actually at the end of the class given some collection among themselves to me for to support a bit on this camera. So thank you very much for that. Hopefully it will be amal jariah and investment for long term with all the good stuff we will be doing in this with this camera, inshallah. Anyway, so okay, this is interesting. Try sikitkan. Okay, this is in Malay. Try sikitkan duration. This is not Malay, this is mixed. Try sikitkan meaning try to reduce, right, the duration video, the video duration. Kalau tak boleh pun okay sir, buat peneman tidur malam. Okay, I'm not sure is this sarcastic or something. If you are the one that commenting this one and it is sarcastic, it's good that I do not know which one you are. But anyway, for those who do not understand, because he said basically try to reduce the duration of the video, but even if it's not possible for me to do so, it's okay. The video can, how to say, peneman tidur malam, can accompany me sleeping at night or something like that. Perhaps it's too long that they fall asleep in the middle of the video. I never considered this one throughout the process, because I thought the video itself should be the whole complete lecture, right? Though I know perhaps some might think that it's better that I make a small chunk, like for each chapter, smaller chunk of part 1, part 2, part 3 for each component. Perhaps that is better for some. I'm not sure moving forward if I ever try to do that, but we will see. But currently, because all the recording I've done is done, and for the most part the student responded positively for that, so I think it is okay. And I think also in YouTube, if you watch part of it and then you come back, it can memorize where you stop before that, right? So I think as he mentioned, even if it's not possible, it's okay. Flip classroom actually, but I prefer to put it on the Ta'lim. Okay, so student can download it. If you put in YouTube, student have difficulty to watch it because it consumes high speed internet. Also, Wi-Fi is not as fast as expected. No offense, but it's just an idea from me, I think. Alright, this is another factor that I've never thought of before, because no one ever complained throughout the period, right? No student actually complained that they have this difficulty. But this issue is basically highlighting that the possibility of some of their college or hostel do not have access to high speed internet. And then if I put okay, so he suggested on for those who I think if you are IIUM student, you know what is iTa'lim. But if someone watching this who are not from the university, you might not know what is iTa'lim. But it's basically a website or a portal where how to say, it's for this university where you have the courses there. I can put on materials there, slides there, announcement there, etc. Right now, the issue is I'm not sure whether iTa'lim have the capacity or the function to upload video there. I haven't noticed that before, so it never come across my mind to really consider it. Secondly, I thought YouTube is already a platform that is quite okay, even you can watch on your phone, right? And I think iTa'lim might not have that one, especially if I embed any video there. And third is because of the high speed. Now I'm not sure because I try to record everything in the highest resolution possible, 1080 for this video, right? I do not have 4K video. If I had, because I did consider when I tried to buy a new camera whether I should go for 4K, because then anything on the whiteboard can be much more clear. However, the price tag is beyond me at this moment, so I cannot go there. But if you play on a smaller resolution, you can play here, right, on YouTube. So I thought YouTube is the best platform for that, for video. So but if you want to download it, because even each of the video of roughly 1 hour, for example, each 1 hour lecture, I think the average file size is about 10 gigabytes, 12 gigabytes, something like that, because of the resolution. So even that, if I think if the student want to download it first, that's quite huge. For each lecture they have to spend allocate space of 12 gigabyte, etc. So I think YouTube is okay, but yeah, it is an issue if you do not have a stable internet connection. Hopefully you bring that to the management of the college, so that they can provide stable internet connection, right? Yeah, talking about that, because the minister of education promised on the school to have the high-speed internet. Perhaps that should go for the university also, right? And unfortunately today, at this day of recording, the Minister of Education just announced he is stepping down as the minister. Unfortunately, for there are many teachers complaining why is that so, and even the petition have reached 100,000 plus of those who signed the petition to see. It's just only 6 hours now. I think it's 4:30 the announcement today PM. Now it's 10 PM at the time of recording. Around almost 6 hours ago, so it's already have 120,000 last time I checked signature, those who demand him to stay as the Minister of Education. But anyway, that's beside the story. I'm not highlighting that point because I want to be the future Minister of the Education. I'm not sure if I can even perform that job. Yeah, anyway, so easy way to understand all chapter. Okay, that's the comment. Alright, so in terms of the quiz, okay, I think I've touched on these comments before. Okay, in terms of comment and feedback for the lecture in general, could you make extra special video that only discuss about past sem exam? This one, because I already covered all of the previous exam questions in the class, and I actually recorded that also, and the student can actually found in the playlist, not in the same playlist of the flipped classroom, but a playlist for each semester. So I think that is sufficient. I can imagine that it will be helpful if I do that in terms of the video also. But if I do that, then what should I cover in the class? Because right now when we do the flipped classroom, the student have to watch the lecture first and then come to class, and then we discuss all of the exam questions, the previous exam question, for them to be able to understand the level of exam question and how to address them. If I do that in video also, I'm not sure then what should we cover in the class. Is it just anyone who have question, they can come, and anyone who don't have question, just watch the video until the end and come to exam? I'm not sure, but I think I can see why this comment is so, because I think there's a huge difference in terms of the format of recording for the flipped classroom and the classroom. Because in the classroom, I'm sitting in front, and then the camera is a bit far to capture the whole whiteboard, while on the flipped classroom, the lecture video, the camera is quite close, and I just focus on a portion of the whiteboard, right? So you can see clearly what I'm rating. So we will consider that for this semester. Unfortunately, I didn't have the time to do that, but your suggestion might be beneficial for those who come after. So hopefully you get the ajr for that, inshallah, if I decide to do that. Can I touch them? Okay, I have covered some of this, right? Unfortunately, I'm not going to be teaching dynamics. I'm still maintained to be static. Okay, I think I have covered this one, right? You look serious but quite funny naturally, especially in YouTube videos. So is that to say that I'm not actually funny in class? Okay. I love my lecturer's style of teaching because sometimes he's also did some joke. Okay, this is quite similar to before. So not bored or sleepy, but the best part is when you also remind us to be the best, to become a good servant of Allah. Alright, inshallah. Hopefully, because that is one of my passion. Hopefully, passion, right? Not patient, passion. So hopefully most of the students take that to heart. No comment. I thought you will teach dynamic for second semester, but I checked. Okay, I think I have to cover this one, right? Love the way to teach, kind of funny. I hope I can get higher marks after this. I do hope so that you can get best mark in the final exam, inshallah. I want to say my friend from other section also watch your video and she likes it, that she can understand better. Glad to help hard-working person. Good. Alright, so that's, I'm not sure how much. I think the comments that I haven't covered before is just very few comments at the end for each question, so there's nothing much there. But I just thought of doing this so that I can wrap up the whole thing. Yeah, so maybe I'll just add another thing. So this will require an additional, because I have to record a different screenshot, so give me a minute here. Alright, so this is I'm not sure whether how to place this, because the shape is different, so it requires the whole video here. I'm not sure how. If I put it here, it will be quite small, but maybe this is better so that you cannot see detail. But anyway, so we will see. I will see how I will be editing this one. But anyway, so I put somewhere here the screenshot of the analytics, right? So this is basically this channel analytics, right? So you can see, okay, this is the daily view, right? And okay, where is the date? So this is 31st December is the day of the exam, the statistics exam, right? So it's quite significant that the day before, right? The day before, oops, where's the difference? 31st December, there's a huge spike of number of view of video in this channel, right? And most of that is because of the video on statics. And you can see that this never happened. That normally it's okay, it's 100 something view per day, right? But suddenly it goes to 270 and then 600 and then 800, right? And then it goes down there in the exam day. So actually I was surprised there when I see what kind of number coming up, that student actually is pouring in and watch videos. I'm assuming it's a last minute revision to watch of any part of the video. That this is in term of view count, right? Not in term of the time, the watch time. So I'm not sure it does it correlate or not, because perhaps you are keep changing video or jumping to find exact portion that you want to watch, right? Which keep pushing the view count up, perhaps, right? But it is quite interesting. Just want to share this because it's quite interesting to see that, because 2 days before is this one, right? 48, 29. Okay, 3 days before, so that suddenly there's huge number for me. Okay, this from this graph, this doesn't seem huge, right? But when this one haven't happened yet, this one is already twice normal, right? So the graph already shoot up, and then suddenly it shoot further up, and then this one goes down, right? And then shoot further up. So it's quite interesting to see that phenomena. And if you can see on here, in terms of what the student watch, so mostly the one that is most watched towards the exam period is is from the statics, right? Now during that period all of these are statics, but now is already, because this is 48 hours, so exam already finished. So I'm quite surprised also that some still watch the chapter 6. So I'm assuming this is not from my student, because the exam is over and I don't think anyone revise anything because they have other exam too, right? So I think this is from other university that haven't had their exam yet, perhaps. But if you took a look at the I don't know, the, okay, how to see this, anyway, that's the point. There's nothing much there. I will do separate video on this analytics thing for those who are interested, because this is more YouTube related rather than statics related. Yeah, so there's another phenomenon that I think, hopefully, because when I see that, I'm hoping that it's actually helpful for you to actually answer the question, because normally I would think that towards the end people are more doing exercises, etc., but perhaps you have done that, you have done your work before, and that is just to refresh on the concepts, etc. Perhaps, I hope it have been helpful, and I hope when I do the next video, which is the final recap and the reveal of, not the reveal, but I will go through the final marks and see the achievement, how it relates to the previous semester, etc. I hope at that time it's a good story, a good ending story. What am I saying? It's a story with a good ending, where most of you get the best grade that you can get and you deserve, inshallah. So with that, I think we will end the session. Not okay. It feels like I'm ending the class. I am ending the session with tasbih kafarah, right? But so it has been a nostalgic semester, this one, because I'm not sure whether the student feel it, because it's most of on me, where this is the first time I actually implement full-blown flipped classroom, and the student has responded positively. So from my side, it feels that you have been a big part of this shift, and you have contributed a lot, and it feels hard to move on from this semester, from my perspective. I'm not sure what the student feel, but yeah, so thank you very much for all of you that has been part of this journey, and have a great journey of 3.5 years ahead. I think normally we have 4 years, so you have finished your first semester. I think most of you, the student is in the first semester this semester, so have a great 3.5 years ahead. Grab everything that you can from knowledge, experience, and soft skill, etc. And hopefully 3.5 years from now, when you graduated and have your convocation, you look back, and hopefully I have been at least some significant part of your journey to help you to become a better person as a whole, inshallah. Wallahu alam. So thank you for watching. See you next time, and have a great exam period.